Hello guys, this is Joyce from Enjoy Scrappin' 2. So today is going to be our first series for our mini album series that we'll be doing. So our first episode is going to be to put these together. So like I mentioned that we're going to be using cardstock to make this, these pockets because I don't have the mini album, and I think this is the easiest way we can do this. I know there's a lot of first timers, so I don't want to make it too difficult. I want to make it as simple as possible. So let's get started. First, I wanted to talk about our binding right here. We're going to be using the Hidden Hinge binding. This Hidden Hinge binding was developed by Kathy Orta. If you guys have made mini albums in the past, you probably know Kathy Orta. She's like the queen of mini albums. Her ideas are fantastic and they are just very, very clever. So she thought of these Hidden Hinge binding system, which I love because it'll give us room to decorate and add embellishments, thicker embellishments, and the hinge is kind of hidden, so it looks very clean. And so I really like this binding system, and that's what we're going to be using. I'll put her link in the description below if you guys like to check it out. So there's a couple different ways you can make the binding here for our album. So our album is going to measure, and you want to know the measurement first, is going to be so this is going to be 8.5 by 5-inch album. Okay, so first we'll work on the Hidden Hinge, and I didn't mention, I don't know if I mentioned it or not in my supply list, if you'll be needing a 12 by 12 pad of paper, a cardstock. I'm not sure if I mentioned that, but it would be very helpful for you to have both the 8.5 by 11-inch cardstock as well as 12 by 12 cardstock. So you can decide on the color depending on which collection of paper that you chose out. For me, I chose out the Graphic 45. I've showed in the supply list. I chose out the Graphic 45. This is the Deluxe Collector's Edition. I believe it is called, okay, I can't find the name, but I will put the link in the descriptions below for this. I chose out this because I love working with Graphic 45 pattern papers. They are absolutely gorgeous, and this one came with the chipboard embellishment as well as sticker, so that was pretty cool. So I didn't really look at the pattern paper until I started to kind of put these together, but you want to choose out a pattern paper for your front cover and your back cover. And I noticed a lot of the patterns in this paper pack is like a vertical orientation. I didn't really think about that. So this, as you can see, this is a horizontal orientation. So I kind of wanted to make a horizontal orientation of a mini album to fit the paper line, but that was a little bit challenging with the cardstock. I did kind of come up with some ideas on how to make a vertical one, but because I said we're gonna do this type of a orientation, I'm just gonna go ahead and stick with that because this is a little bit more complicating. And so if this mini album series goes well and if I have paper left over, then we might after that do a vertical one, maybe using like a hybrid type like envelope with like what is that, the folders or whatever. But we can do this if you guys like this series. So first we're gonna go ahead and, like I said, sorry if I'm like mumbling and things, I apologize if that's kind of annoying, but this is kind of like real time in a way for me because I'm not gonna be doing a voiceover. So sorry if I say a lot of and things like that. I know some of you guys get really annoyed, but what you're going to be needing, I have many different ways we can do the binding. I'm going to bring you in a little bit closer. Okay, the reason why you need a 12 by 12 is because this is going to measure 11 1/4 by 5 inches for our binding. So I have all these different ones here, and I'm going to go ahead and explain. So I made several, but this is how it's going to be. Okay, and this is, like I said, 11 1/4 by 5 inches. That is our measurement. You can see it is 5 inches. So 5 inches by 11 1/4. If you don't have a 12 by 12 pad to do this, I did come up with a way you can make this with the 8.5 by 11. But first I'm gonna go over the 12 by 12. So what you're gonna do is cut it to 11 1/4 by 5 inches, and you're definitely going to be needing a scoreboard. This is going to be like your best friend. Okay, you're gonna definitely need tapes, scoreboard, a ruler is very helpful, especially this Tim Holtz ruler. It's because you can find the middle of like, say you want to find the middle of this size, and it helps you to find the center of whatever it is that you're looking for if you're trying to look for a center. So this is really great, and of course you're gonna need scissors, and you definitely want to have some liquid glue as well. Okay, so once you have the 11 1/4, we're gonna do our scoring. The first score, whoops, sorry. I don't know if you can see the numbers, but the first score is going to be at 2 inches, and you're gonna go ahead and score, and then you're gonna flip it over, and then you're gonna score again at 2. This is if you have a 12 by 12 cardstock, so which is cut 11 1/4 here. Okay, and then we're going to be scoring from the 2 inches. We're going to go ahead and score at 1/2 inch, which is 2.5, and then we're going to go ahead and score again at 1/2 inch, which is at 3, and then we're going to go ahead and score at 1/4 inch, which is going to be 3 1/4. Okay, so you can pause and take down the measurements if you like, and then again at 1/2 inch, which is 3 3/4, another 1/2 inch, which is 4 1/4, and then we're gonna do 1/4 inch, which is 4 1/2. So this is like repetition. We're gonna do 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, and continue it on until we get to the end. Okay, so I think we left off at 4.5, and then we're going to do 1/2 inch, which is at 5, and then another 1/2 inch, 5, 5 1/4, 1/4 inch, 5 3/4, 1/2 inch, 6 1/4, another 1/2 inch, 6 3/4, 1/4 inch, which is 7, 1/2 inch, 7.5, 1/2 inch, 8 inches, 1/4 inch, 8 1/4, 1/2 inch, 8 3/4, and your last score line would be that 2 inch mark. So we would be ending at the 1/2 inch. The reason why I marked these thing, just like how Kathy Orta showed her hidden hinge binding system, I think this is the best explanation, so I went ahead and copied it so that it'll be easier for you guys to understand. These right here that are marked is gonna be our gusset. Okay, so you won't be putting any tape on that gusset. So what that is going to be this right here. This is our 1/4 inch gusset, which is these right here. Okay, and once you've done that, you're gonna go ahead and attach tape to your first 1/2 inch. Whether you use a 1/4 inch tape or whether you use 1/2 inch tape, what you're going to be doing, I'm gonna flip it over so you can see. Sorry, I don't know if you can see. So you're gonna put your first tape on right after the 2 inches, okay? And you want to get it as close to the score line as possible. So you're gonna put one there and then move over, and then you're gonna put tape right after the gusset again. So you're gonna put a tape right after the gusset, and then right after the gusset, right after the gusset, right after the gusset, right after the gusset, like that. Okay, so it's very important that you only put tape on the first 1/2 inch. Okay, so again, this is the first 1/2 inch after the 1/4 inch. Hopefully I'm not confusing you with this, but it's kind of simple if you kind of, if you kind of catch on. So we're gonna put the tape right there. So I did it here. You can see right after the 2 inch mark, I put the tape. I skipped the 1/2 inch and the 1/4 inch. Right after the 1/4 inch, I put another tape, and then right after 1/4 inch, I put another tape, going as close as possible to the score line, but you don't want to put tape on the gusset. You don't want to put tape on these gussets at all. Okay, and then again, right after the gusset, and you continue it on. Okay. So this is the one that I did, it's this way, with the 1/2 inch, okay? So once you've done that, and then we're gonna go ahead and start attaching it. If you don't have the 12 by 12 inch cardstock, I do have a measurement here, but I would highly recommend you get a 12 by 12 cardstocks. because for our inserts and things, I will be using the 12 by 12. I chose out the black, and I showed in the supply list, I chose out the basil black, and then I've also chose out this basil. This is chocolate malt, I believe. Yeah, chocolate malt. It's kind of like craft color. Sorry. Okay. So this is really it'll make it a lot easier for you. Okay. So go ahead and pick some up if you don't have any. But for now, for our first episode, I'm gonna show you how you can create using the 8.5. So for the 8.5 gusset, the hidden hinge, you're gonna cut this 5 inches. It's always going to be 5 inches because that's going to be our album size this way. So everything over here is 5 inches. So this is going to measure 5 inches, and you're going to cut it at 7.5. Okay, you can see. I don't know if you can even see that. I can't zoom you in any more closer because then you're not going to be able to see the whole thing. So you're going to cut it at 7.5, and then you're going to cut another piece at 3 3/4 by 5, and then we're going to go ahead and attach these together to make the 11 1/4. See that? Okay. So again, for this, start with the larger one. Go ahead and score at 2 inches. And then from there, you're going to score 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch. And that's where you're going to end. Okay? And then you're going to bring the smaller one, go ahead and flip it over and score it at 2 inches. Okay? And then we're going to do 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, and 1/4 inch. So this is going to get connected like so to make one binding. So right here, this wingspan, these wingspan is going to be what's going to get adhered to our front cover and our back cover. Okay, so again, you want to do the same thing for the tape. Just flip it over, and I mean, you don't have to flip it over, you can just do it. I just made like this so that you can see it and you can understand it better. So like this, I made it with 8.5 by 11 page just to show you, and this is how it's going to look. Okay, so again, you put the tape right after the 2 inch, and then from then you can put the tape right after the 1/4 inch, and just keep going. Okay, so that's that. So that's how we're going to make our gusset binding. Let's talk about tie back. Okay, I mentioned the tie back. This tie back is those things that you can buy at the office supply store. I showed you. It's comes in an envelope form, And this is very sturdy. Even though it's super thin, you're not going to be able to tear this. So that's what makes it really great. So you can even make your binding using just the tie back. Okay, so obviously this tie back is white, so I went ahead and painted it black using the Deco Art Carbon Black, which is a really dark black. So I just painted it both sides, let it dry, did the same scoring, and I put the tape. Okay, that's another option. So I'm giving you several options on what you can do. The other option that I did, if I can find it, okay, you want to use a heavy weight cardstock if you're gonna just use the cardstock, okay? Of course, I can't find it. Oh, here it is. Okay, so this is the one that I made using the 8.5 by 11, just to show you guys that you can do it. In the back, I've attached the tie back here. Okay, again, I painted it first and I attached it. I know it's not the full length. I actually measured this wrong, so it's a little shorter, but it doesn't really matter. You can, you know, make the same as 5 inches by 11.25 if you like. But since I had this, I just put it, I stuck it to the back, and this is going to be the back of our spine. Okay, so that's why I did this scoring the same way and put the tape. Okay, so what we're gonna do, and I'm gonna show you. Okay, put the scoring board away. Okay, and then we're gonna okay, you can use a knife, you can use your finger, whatever. This Tim Holtz craft knife is really good. I love it. That's because I can put it all in and the blade is not exposed when I'm using it. It makes it really difficult. You know, my daughter is 5, so it's a little dangerous, the other ones, but you can use this to take off your score tape. So you can use a 1/4 inch tape if you like. You can use 1/2 inch tape if you like. Okay, take it all off. I should have actually reinforced my scoring before I did the I took it off. Okay, you want to go ahead and reinforce your score line because you want this to be super straight. Okay, okay, this is let me show you this first because I didn't reinforce my score line. This is the one that I just made with tie back. Okay, go ahead and reinforce it. This bone folder is fantastic because it gives such a crisp line, and I really love that because I don't want my album to be wonky. Okay, go ahead and reinforce all. So this is going to be probably the most confusing part of the putting together the mini album. The rest are simple. You're not gonna really. The reason why I'm using black is because my color theme is going to be black and the chocolate malt, which is kind of like craft. So let me just show you with this so you can see it. Okay, go ahead and reinforce it. Make sure everything is straight, nice and straight. So this camcorder I'm using can record about an hour, so that's probably where I'm gonna cut off. My other camcorder can record about 2 hours, but I don't think you want to watch like 2 hours, so I think I'm gonna just cut it off at 1 hour. So let's try to get it done as much as possible. Go ahead and reinforce all your score lines really well. I hope everybody had a great Valentine's Day and took advantage of the sale. And there's still free shipping currently going on in the month of February, which is fantastic. Like, free shipping for me is like gold. I really love that. And so generous of Dan to extend it. Okay, I can't really see right above me, so make sure that when you're scoring, reinforcing it, that you're lining it up really well. Okay, because this is going to be basically determine if you have a really clean straight album, or it'll be wonky if it's not. So go ahead and take your time. This, you got to take your time, I think, for the binding part. I think it's like the most important part. I had my son's birthday party yesterday, right after the holidays. The next important event is my kids' birthday parties, because they're born early in the year. So I finished my son's, and now I gotta do my daughter's. That's like a big thing. So now go ahead and take your tape off. This is not going to be the binding that I'll be using. I'll be using one of the black ones. This is just so that you can see it. And you want to make sure the tape is flushed right to the ends. I'm super excited. I have like so many ideas in my head. That's how it is. If you've made mini albums in the past, you know that the possibilities are endless. There's so many different ways you can make it. I think that's why people get overwhelmed in a way. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna fold and stick. We're basically sticking these 1/2 inch ones together. Okay, the 1/2 inch ones here. Okay, so go ahead and fold it over like so. Okay, reinforce it, and then bring it back. Okay, again, reinforce it, and then make sure you're not sticking this anywhere else. It needs to be stuck down together like this. Okay, like so. Bring it back. Okay. Okay, reinforce it really well. Okay, you can see that. You can see how clean it is. And then go ahead and move it over and reinforce it. So if you connected the two 1/2 inch score mark, this is what you'd be left with. I think this is like the most important part of the album. So make sure you take your time. If you need to re-watch it, go ahead and pause it and then re-watch it. Take your time. So this is how it's going to look once you're finished. Okay, that's why you wanted the tape as close to the edge as possible, because you don't want like gaps here. Okay, you want it to be really clean like so. And we're left with our gusset. Okay, let me show you again with this. Now that I showed you with the white, I made the white because obviously the black is kind of hard to see. And then I didn't even reinforce this, but that's okay. Let's see how it. Okay, we really needed to reinforce this, especially because this one has a layer of tie-back. Okay, go ahead and stick it down. You see, I made a mistake and look what happened. Oh, that's because I didn't reinforce. The score lines. Let me, hold on. Okay guys, so you can see the score tape is really strong, so make sure when you're sticking it that you know that's where you want it, because it's gonna tear up your papers. I kind of salvaged it, but that's okay. Okay, make sure that you're starting on the side with the 2 inch and the 1/2 inch part. Actually, they're both like that, but if you flip it over, you're not gonna have your tape on your first score line right after the score line. So make sure that you're starting the fold from the side that has the tape right next to the first 2 inch score line. Okay, otherwise you're gonna stick it on the wrong way. So make sure you're starting on the right side. Okay, okay, I'm having a lot of difficulty with this, and that's because I didn't pre-score it. So make sure you reinforce your score lines before we do this. Okay, so I finally got it. So this is the one that had the Tyvek. And look. So I'm not going to cut this part out because I want you guys to see what not to do. Okay, so if you're going to back your binding like this with the Tyvek, I suggest that you use thinner cardstock because this is going to give you a little bit more bulk. So you don't want to use a super thick cardstock with it because this right here is going to kind of give you a little bit more resistance because the Tyvek is there. Okay, so this is how it's going to be. Make sure you crease it and really work that both ways so the album can move. Okay, so this is how it is. Okay, initially I wanted this Tyvek to be on the outer side, so I put the tape on the wrong side, but that's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and back this with the Tyvek in the back as well, and this doesn't really matter because that's not gonna show. This is gonna get attached to the cover like this. Okay, so that's that, or you can use it with the black cardstock. If you're gonna just use a cardstock, then I suggest that you use a heavyweight for that, and you can just use the Tyvek alone if you like. This is really strong, guys. It's not gonna like rip or anything like that because they don't rip. So even though it's thin, this is going to be very sturdy. So either way, any of these would be perfect. Okay, so now that I've showed you how to make your hidden hinge binding, okay, like so, let's go ahead and work on the album part. Okay, so we'll be making the pockets now. Okay, this is super easy. All you're going to be needing is 8.5 by 11. Okay, there you go. I also have an example for you with the white cardstock if you can't really see. So here is the full 8.5 by 11. So you're going to go ahead and score it at 5 inches and score it at 10 inches, which is going to give you an inch right here. And we're going to go ahead and glue that together. Bring out my scoreboard. If you don't have a scoreboard, you can use your trimmer as your scoring tool if you like. Okay, so we're gonna score it at 5 inches, and then we're gonna score it at 10. Okay, like so. Put that back. I hope you guys are gonna like this. And then so we're gonna go ahead and reinforce our score line, making sure it's straight. Okay, and then our flap. This is the 1 inch leftover flap. Go ahead and score that as well and flatten it out. Okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and stick this inside so that it doesn't show, which will give us our pocket. Okay, so you want to go ahead and put your score tape. You want to get it close as possible over here so that it sticks really well and this part isn't gonna kind of flap. If it's not attached, then this little part is going to kind of be flapping and stuff. So make sure that you get it as close as possible. I'm using both the 1/2 inch. If you don't have a 1/2 inch, go ahead and use 1/4 inch. Can't really see right above, but try to get it as close as possible to the end. And these, I know these can be torn with your hands, but for these I want to go ahead and cut it because I want to make sure that it's covered completely, because if we tear it, sometimes like it tears like jagged. So I prefer to cut it so that it's completely covered. So you can use this twice, or you can go ahead and use and again for the inside we want to get it as close to the end as possible. Okay, again, cut it. Okay, go ahead and okay, now that we have our tape, I like to taper it, and I like to taper after I put the tape so that again it's flushed right to the end. Just take off a little bit like that. Okay, you don't need to take off much, just tapering it a little bit, and then we're going to go ahead and attach it. Making sure it's completely flushed. Again, take your time so that it'll be straight. You can use your fingernails. Okay, these are very strong tape. You can use your ATG if you like. I prefer this score tape because they are strong, especially like putting things together like this. I really, okay, go ahead and fold it down and then fold it. So as you can see that this is hollow, there's nothing at the end here. Nothing, that's because later on we'll be gluing one of these 1/2 inch flap that's sticking up right here. We're gonna go ahead and flush it right to the end. I think I didn't cut that completely at 5 inches. It's, of course it doesn't work out perfectly because I'm filming. Oh my goodness, but you know what I mean, right? We're gonna go ahead and flush this just like so. I think maybe we need to cut a little bit off. Maybe. Maybe like a 1/8 of an inch off here. Sorry. so that you can see right there, it's glued and flushed right to the end like that. Okay, so it gives a really clean gusset. That's why this is open on both sides. So we're gonna do this 6 times total because there's 6 flaps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 1 for each flap. Go ahead and do that 5 more times. I have them here. So 5 more times to create 6 of these. Okay, I put tape on it already. So once you finish this part, then I'll meet you back. So you can go ahead and pause it and finish the 5, and then we'll meet back. And maybe trim off like 1/16 of an inch or whatever, really little, so that this can go in. Yeah. Okay, so I'll meet you right back. Okay, so I hope you have all 6 ready. I have my 6 here, and then now we have our binding and 6 flaps, pockets. I thought this is just, of course we might change as we go, because there's so many ways you can decorate it and add additional flaps. So you can always put your own flair. You definitely don't have to follow what I'm doing, but I thought I was gonna make 3 of these into pockets like this. Okay, so we're gonna have our tabs here. Since there's 6, I was gonna have 3 of them with the pull-out tab, and then have 3 of them with the pull-out 2-part flap. Okay, so that was my thoughts. I've added some other things here, like we can add like can add like a pocket if we like. I mean, the possibilities are endless. I just kind of added some additional pockets here. This is where our tag is gonna go. And I thought maybe it would be fun to add some additional flaps here. Just in case we want to just put a simple journaling tag here, or whatnot. So let's go ahead and quickly do this before we attach it. Okay, I thought that would be kind of fun. Maybe we'll put it on like 1 or 2 only. So what you're gonna need is so I'm just kind of like doing this as I go. I haven't finished this album. I don't have a sample or anything like that. We're just going as we go. Just think of things. So if you have some ideas and things like that, go ahead and leave a comment, and then we can add additional like embellishments or added pockets and things along the way. So what I did for this pocket here, not a pocket, a flap, because when you have a paper bag mini album, you get these little tiny little flaps that goes with the paper bags. And because this is not a paper bag, but we can, I mean, add additional flaps and pockets. I mean, the possibilities are endless. So I want to go ahead and create 1 or 2. So I cut it because our album is 5 inches. I went ahead and cut it slightly smaller. So I cut it into 4 7/8, giving us about a 1/16 of an inch on both sides so that it'll tuck in nicely. I don't know about you guys, but like, I don't know, these sometimes don't give me a very clean cut. So I'm gonna go ahead and maybe only do one for now. Let's see. I've added it here. Oh, I added it at the end because this, I didn't stick it down, so there was room for me to tuck it in. The rest are all stuck down, but we can always add additional pockets. So I'm thinking maybe we can put it on 2. I don't know, guys. 1, 2. Because I really like the interactive part like this. Something like that. We can also add another pocket here. I'm thinking a pocket because I want to make a little, I guess, mini within a mini type of a book here. And then there's our tags. And we can, of course, continue them on. This is going to have a flap. This is going to have a pocket. So, like that. Maybe we can put it on the 2 pockets here. 1 here. Maybe only 1. Okay, so I cut it 4 7/8, and then I'm gonna go ahead and cut it at 5. So this is gonna give us the 2 pockets, 2 flaps. I have so many trimmers, guys, and then none of them really cut straight. Should use the Caterpillar Pro. I'll definitely be sharing that very shortly. So this is small one, so we're gonna go ahead and score it at 1/2 inch. So this one we're gonna score it at 3. And then this one we'll score it at 4.5. Doesn't matter which way, 1/2 inch this way, you know, it doesn't really matter how you want to score it, but we're gonna want a 1/2 inch flap. And then go ahead and reinforce our flaps. Sure it's straight. And I want to go ahead and attach these together so it becomes like this. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and put tape on this. Again, sorry, I can't really see close. You want to butt it up right against the score line here. Okay. Go ahead and cut that. Don't like any glue peeping out because things are going to get stuck. Then I want to put another one here at the top. Okay, so you see it has adhesive at the top on the small part, and then adhesive around the bottom for the large one. It's gonna get stuck down like so. It might give us a little bit of a like what is that, bulk, but that's okay. That's why we have the 1/4 inch gusset. But I want to go ahead and make the crease as clean as possible. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go like that. Okay, before I do that, I'm going to cut again. This just helps it to fold in things easier. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to. Make sure that they're even. Okay, can you see that tape sticking out over there? See, when you fold it, I want to cut that off, because I don't want any adhesive exposed there. Okay, I'm definitely like not a pro with mini albums, guys. I just love making them. Sometimes I may do it a hard way. There might be an easier way. But it's just, it's supposed to be fun. That exposed again when you fold it. Don't like that. Go ahead and trim this. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and stick this down. Okay, you want to make sure this is straight. Go ahead and butt it up against the fold and then stick them down. Okay, see how clean? This bone folder is like amazing. It's perfect for these, because not all bone folders give you that really crisp cut. And then I'm gonna go ahead and stick adhesive on both sides. This is why I like to put the adhesive first and then cut. I forgot. Okay. They're really clean. gonna put this one at the top. Okay. I think that's good. Don't really need to have it completely covered because it's going to get tucked in one of the bags. And then that's gonna get stuck down. Oh, I shouldn't have put over here. Carefully trying to remove it. Oh, perfect. I'm going to go ahead and stick it all the way in. Butt it against the fold. And we want this even on both sides if you can possibly get it. Okay, there you go. Perfect. Okay, it's a little bit off. I don't know if you can see because I cut it 1/16 of an inch. I wanted to center that as much as possible, but it's okay. Okay, so we have the flaps. Okay, so I think now I'm gonna go ahead and glue it flushed to our binding. Trying to think, should I put another one? No, I might want to do something else different. Okay, that's good enough. So I want my first one to have a tab. This is going to have a tab. This is going to have a tab. So I want it this way. Okay. And what you're going to do is you're going to put glue, not glue, but score tape on both sides. Okay, on both sides. And then we're going to go ahead and put this in. And then secure it flushed. Both sides. Okay? And that will close up our bottom gap. Okay? So go ahead and do that. And then I'll meet you back. So the last one and the one after that, wait, I want the flap first. So pocket, 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 pocket. So stick this one with the flap right after this, the first one. This is the back now. This is the back, this is the front, okay? All right, so we'll do that, and I'll be back. Okay, so before that, before sticking these pockets all in, choose which ones you're going to have your pockets. I want 3 pockets that has a tag. So what I mean by that is this right here. Sorry, this tag. So go ahead and put your circle punch, cut the notch out before you adhere it so that they line up. Okay, so how I do that, okay, you can use any circle punch depending on the tabs. There's many ways you can make a tab. You can even use 2 circles to stick together to make a tab. Okay, so this is where our ruler comes in handy, because we can find our middle. So there's the 0, there's the center, and I have it at 2.5, 2.5. Since this is a 5 inches, I'm going to go ahead and mark where I want my center, which is going to be 2.5. Oh, did you even see that? Sorry, but I mean, this is 5, so the center will be 2.5. Okay, so once you have that, I'm using 1 3/8 of an inch of a circle punch. I'm not going to go all the way in. I want to kind of keep it maybe 1/3 way. Maybe a little bit more. Doesn't have to be perfect. So that we have our pocket. Go ahead and this is why it makes it easier to do it before we stick it down, because then we can have them all even. Okay, and then remember, the one with this is the one we're gonna have a tab. So go ahead and line it up. You don't have to have the tab, guys. That one got in the way. It just makes it easier to kind of pull out. Okay, kind of made a boo-boo here. I'm gonna have to fix it. That's good. Okay, so I'm gonna have 3 of these so that we can put our tabs. Okay, and the rest I'm gonna, for now, keep it without this notch. Okay, so put those together, and then I'll meet you back. Okay, just a quick tip when you're adding the tape, make sure you don't add it where the crease line is. Okay, so give a little bit of space so you don't put the tape right on the score line. Okay, so then it won't be like sticking. Okay, so I use a 1/4 inch adhesive here because it doesn't really need to get stuck on to the top. It's better this way anyways, so that when your tag goes in, it doesn't get stuck over here. Because if you have adhesive sticking out, so make sure clean from one end to the other, making sure that this tape is not on the score lines. Okay. Okay, so you should have something that looks like this. Okay. So we put the one with the tab, no tab, tab, no tab, tab, and our little flap, oops, that we created. And then the last was no tab. Okay. And then the two flaps that's gonna be attached to our cover. We'll be doing the cover last. I might back this with the tie back, or I might wait until the end, because this is the one that I've attached the tie back to the cardstock. And yeah, this is the one that I kind of messed up on. But so right now everything is black. So when we come back for our next episode, it's going to be creating pockets, as well as some flaps here. Along with these, might create the additions that will be adding on different pockets, different types of pockets, different flaps, additional flaps. So that's what we'll be working on our next episode, which will probably be Wednesday. If you don't have 12 by 12 cardstock, I highly advise you to get it, because when we're adding flaps, and especially multiples like this, it's a lot easier when you have a 12 by 12. So far right now everything is black, but I don't want to make everything black. So that's for the pockets and things, I'm going to be using the Basil, the chocolate malt. This is a 12 by 12. This is what I'll be using to create our tabs, as well as flaps and pockets and things like that. And we will use maybe probably a vintage photo to distress it, so that not everything is completely black. Okay, so if you don't have like a 12 by 12, if you want to go all black, that's fine too. Just 12 by 12 cardstock is it'll make things a lot easier. Okay, since the paper line that I chose has a lot of like browns, has a lot of blacks and things, so that's why my color scheme is going to be black. And this it's not quite a craft color, but it's very pretty. And this is a heavy weight. This is 100 pound. You want a heavy weight to create our tabs, as well as the flaps. Okay, so that'll be next. I hope you guys liked it, and of course you can change things around however way you like, but this is just what I came up with. And so I hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you guys back Wednesday. Okay, thank you so much. Bye. Okay, sorry, before I go again, I wanted to let you know that we'll be using a lot of wet glue when we're adding pockets and things like that, because when you add tape, sometimes the tags can get stuck inside. So I prefer to use wet glue for things like that. So have a wet glue as well. Your favorite strong adhesive, strong wet glue. I'll most likely be using maybe like the multi-matte medium, or I might use some tacky glue, something that's strong that will hold up the flaps and the additional weight that we'll be putting on. Okay, I hope I gave you guys enough supply list. And then of course I will also be using the washi tape. Something like the Ideology. This is a Tim Holtz tissue tape. I will be using this to maybe make some pockets. I'm thinking maybe we can make some clear pockets, or maybe some shaker portion of something. I'm not quite sure, but since shakers are so popular, I was thinking maybe we can make like a shaker tag or something like that. And so go ahead and get your favorite washi tape that matches your paper line, and also these clips, hinge clips. I'll be using these as well. Okay, so hopefully that'll cover everything, or I don't know, maybe I'll add on stuff, or I'm just going it as we're doing this, so I'm not like 100% sure how this is going to turn out. If you have suggestions or you want to see something in this album, then go ahead and leave a comment, and then we can work with it together. Okay, thank you so much, and I'll catch you guys back Wednesday. Bye.